Hello and welcome to Kingdom Special Forces YouTube channel. My name is Toby and, well, this is my buddy Jesus. I understand that he is offensive to some people out there, but that's not my intent. If I offend your picture of Jesus on here or Rambo, please forgive me. I want to share with you my picture of Jesus in this segment and a little bit of Rambo. Thank you so much for joining me. The audio is a bit rough, so please listen to the music and not the scratches on the record. Here's my Jesus picture and a little bit of Rambo. Isn't it interesting? When I say Jesus, it invokes all kinds of images for all kinds of different reasons. Many think of that old Jesus picture on the wall. When I was younger, I prayed to that old picture of Jesus on the wall. I mean, seriously, you have to think of something when you're praying. Nothing wrong with that in general. Sometimes images inspire us to higher realms of conscience. I would sometimes thank the picture on the wall when my prayers were answered. Sometimes the prayers were answered in a random, miraculous kind of way, but when I got older, I realized Jesus was in the house, not on the wall. He used the flesh and blood bodies of mom and dad to answer most of my prayers. He uses human vessels. If you serve Jesus, you are his image. You are his body. He lives in you. The same thing goes when I say Rambo. Anybody who has seen the movie, well, an image of Sylvester pops up in their head. A picture of your dog might pop up in your head if his name is Rambo. I mean, if a picture of your mom pops up in your head when I say Rambo, well, I mean, you might need some counseling. Point being, when I say Rambo, I think of a warrior. The Rambo series was a huge deal in my generation. After watching it, I wanted to be Rambo. I mean, I was a teenager. He was tough, built like a tank, and you better not mess with him because he was specially trained. He was one bad donkey, or, ass if you're reading the King James Version. I mean, I kind of want to be him now. I mean, look at those pecs and those abs. He must have been on a low-carb, high-protein diet. The fact of the matter is, real Rambos don't look like Sylvester in a movie. It's just a fantasy. Real warriors aren't as pretty as Rambo. Real warriors have the battle they fought and the damage they have to heal after the battle. Real warriors live to fight another day or die fighting. They are warriors and they were born to fight. That's why I chose this next picture as one of my favorite Jesus and Rambo pictures. It's the story of a different kind of battle and a different kind of warrior. I'm going to talk you through it. I love this picture. Let me tell you what I see. I see two sisters taking a break from a battle. They were warrior sisters. They had fought many battles together. They had many great victories. They had endured devastating losses, but they always had each other. But this battle on this particular day was a battle for one of their lives. This battle was personal. This battle was cancer. It was personal for me as well. The lady on the right is my mom, and the lady on the left is her sister, my aunt. My mom reminds me of Jesus in this picture, in that he smiles even in the worst of battle. He is your strength. He never leaves you. It's a real warm, loving smile like what she has on her face. A smile that says, I have history with you, and I'm going to have eternity with you. You win no matter what. You know, my aunt reminds me of RAMBO. You know, a warrior. I can see the battle in her eyes. She fought cancer with everything she had. We prayed, she prayed, everybody prayed. Everything anybody could do or she could do physically or spiritually, she fought with all her heart. In our hearts, she fought to the death. She didn't lose the battle with cancer. She won the war to heaven where she has a new body. You win no matter what when you're a Jesus vessel. Though she did make a RAMBO move before passing. I mean, she was laying there, barely conscious, on a hospital bed with tubes coming out of her. Seconds before going to heaven, we didn't even know she was conscious. And she raised her hands in worship as this song was playing. It's as if she was saying, cancer, you didn't win. Jesus is Lord no matter what. That's what Kingdom Special Forces warriors say. Jesus, you are Lord no matter what. But then the music stopped. Tears were cried. Beautiful memories were remembered. The funeral was over. There were many survivors of this cancer battle, but it hit one particular survivor in a most devastating way. You know, my mom. Her sister was the last living relative in her immediate family, her friend, warrior of faith, the person she leaned on in life to help fight her battles, the only one of her kind, irreplaceable, gone. The day of my aunt's funeral, the day she was buried, my mom and my picture of Jesus were broken. And that brings us to the thumbs up Jesus picture. Over the last few years, my mom and aunt weren't my only Jesus and RAMBO picture. I prayed through a lot of Jesus and RAMBO pictures the past few years. Many of them didn't answer. My pictures didn't read the same theology books I read, or watch the television preacher I watched, or listen to all the sermons about what a successful Christian family should be and look like. The perfect picture of Jesus was not answering my prayers. Everything was falling apart so fast, my pretty pictures of Jesus couldn't keep up. The picture on the wall was torn to shreds. To be honest with you, I had to joke about it just to cope. So I understand why people would want to make a joke with my thumbs up picture Jesus here. Those perfect pictures don't look like your life, and those perfect Christian sermons, well, they're a joke. Until my buddy Jesus told me to stop trying to get me to hear him and realize that he knew how I felt. I needed a new picture. It was a picture I had seen 1,000 times. It was probably mixed in with all the other pictures, but this time it was alive. I'd talked around it my whole life and led many people to it, but it meant something different. I didn't pray to it. I felt it. More importantly, this picture allowed Jesus to feel me. It was some version of this picture and all the pictures that lead up to it. This picture gave me permission to be broken. There was no expectation of perfection. I could be sheer down to the bone broken and not be ashamed. I could be brutally honest with this guy. My prayers changed. I started complaining. Yes, complaining. The voice from that picture gave me permission. Jesus would always say, I understand, and I know how you feel. Sometimes I would get Jesus flashbacks as we compared wounds. I realized I had to give him permission to feel me. I began to understand that when he feels me, he heals me. This Jesus gave me permission to say, why have you forsaken me, God? I have lived my life for you, followed you. Every decision I made was with you. I'm a Christian for God's sake. Why me? Jesus would say, I know how you feel. Jesus gave me permission to be mad at God. He would say, get it out there, buddy. I can handle it. Give that anger to me. Give that frustration to me. That's what I'm here for. I know how you feel. I stopped praying for my wife to be perfect, and I started giving Jesus access to my broken husband. I would say, here he is, Lord, no more excuses. My broken husband is yours. I stopped praying for perfect kids, and I started giving Jesus my broken dad. I stopped blaming my parents, and I started giving Jesus my broken son. I would just say, here he is, Lord, feel him and heal him. I've realized that Jesus isn't after the perfect picture we try to give him all the time. He's after the broken picture behind it. We don't want anyone to see. So give Jesus your broken pictures. Perfect pictures of Jesus don't exist. It's time to get a new picture. After all, pictures on the wall change all the time. That's me. That's me. That's me now. Might be time for a new picture. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. Just remember, he is the man who took your place. In his wounds, they cry for you, amazing grace. Just let him fill you. Let him fill you. God bless you and keep you.